Mrs. Craigson, could you please tell me where you are? I'm very worried about you, Mrs. Craigson. We haven't seen you for days. The other maids don't seem to care that you've gone missing. You have no right to know where I am after what you've done. How dare you to even ask me that, as if you didn't do anything bad. You're not really worried about me. Stop lying. I know you don't care about me. You're right. I really don't care about you. I only pretend to because it's my job. Though I care if you end up causing us trouble by going off and doing something stupid like killing yourself. I don't want Kyle to be mourning over you when our relationship is about to go to the next level. We'd appreciate it if you didn't do anything that would get in our way. That's cold. I didn't know that's how you felt about me. After all these years of you working for us. But I'm glad that now I know your true self. I can't believe you hid that so well all these years. I'm not going to let you fool me any longer. Don't you even think of messing with me. I wasn't hiding my true self. I was just doing my job. You make it sound so dramatic. Hiding my true self and messaging with you. You make me laugh. You make it sound like I care enough about you to be messing with you. I just want you out of our lives. That's all. For someone who was supposedly trying to keep things professional, you sure seem like just your everyday, ordinary homewrecker. Sleeping with my husband is not professional at all. Please tell me how that's professional. See, you don't understand, Mrs. Craigson. Sleeping with your husband was part of my job as well at first. I didn't seduce him or anything, I swear. I was just doing my job and nothing more. How about you quit your job right now? Because that doesn't make sense at all. How can that be part of your job? Do you even have any common sense? Where in the contract did it say that you must sleep with my husband? Stop lying. I'm sure you're the one who approached him first and seduced him. No, it was your husband's order to do so. I wasn't the one who approached him first. I even refused at first, but he kept insisting and telling me that it was part of my job. You should ask Kyle and talk it out with him. I did talk to him, and you know what he said to me? He said he doesn't want to end things with you. Instead, he wants to end things with me so he can be with you. I can't believe it. I'm his wife. You guys think you can just dispose of me so easily? Just because he'd rather be with a maid. I see. It sounds like he's made up his mind. You should follow his orders, just like I do. Orders. You don't have to take every single order from my husband, especially when it's one inappropriate like this. Are you going to throw yourself off the bridge if he orders you to? Do you know what else he told me? He told me all about your disgusting little plan. What are you talking about? What plan? You two are planning on getting married after he divorces me. Oh, about that. So you already know. I guess now I don't have to tell you then. Though I wish I could have been the one to tell you just to see how you'd react. That's the worst plan I've ever heard. You should reconsider this very carefully. He said he's going to divorce me as soon as possible so that he can marry you right after. That means this excuse that you're just following orders holds absolutely no weight. I know that you two are much more than just an employer and an employee now. Well, at first I was actually considering it as a part of the job I have to do. To be honest, that's how I really thought about it and nothing more. I tried to keep things professional. I thought I would just obey his orders and not catch any feelings. But as time went on and the longer we spent with each other, I think I actually did fall for him. It's true love. True love? Are you serious? This is ridiculous. Don't make me laugh. What are you, a teenager? What's wrong with true love? I know it exists because that's what my love with Kyle really is. I guess you wouldn't understand because he never really loved you after all. You've never experienced true love. Poor Mrs. Craigson. Excuse me. How can you say that about me? You don't know anything about me. If Kyle truly loved you, he wouldn't be so madly in love with me. But he loves me, not you. I know he's your first husband, so I guess that means you've never even come close to even experiencing true love. Fake love can't win over true love. So you lose. And soon I'll become his new wife and you'll be left all alone. Your time has come to an end. Well, I guess it's true that we no longer love each other. But we really loved each other at one point. So don't go saying that I never experienced true love. It's just that people change and grow apart. Love doesn't always last. Which is why I don't plan on stopping any of this. What is it with you all of a sudden? Trying to act tough? You should be getting mad at me. Why aren't you screaming and cussing me out? The other maids have already warned me about you, so I was mentally prepared. That's why I'm not mad. I'm not all that shocked either. They told me that you were a troublemaker at the previous household that you worked at. That's why they fired you and you came to work for us. Those skanks. I thought they were on my side. How dare they talk to you about me? I'll fire every last one of them after I get married. I'm sure they'll be more than happy not to work for you. Who would want to? You seem like an absolute nightmare. I doubt they would want to risk any sexual harassment from Kyle either. It's not sexual harassment. We're in love, and he's only got eyes for me. Yeah, whatever you need to tell yourself. You're just jealous because he prefers me. Anyway, good riddance to the whole lot of you. We'll hire a new group of maids that will be much better than them. At least they won't talk behind my back. I won't let them. You're way too selfish to be a maid. I don't know how you kept working as one during all these years. You think I'm being selfish? This is not being selfish at all. You'll know when I'm really being selfish. Now please, tell me where you are, Mrs. Craigson. I still have to do this as a part of my job. I have to find out where you are and report to Kyle. Like I just said, you have no right to know where I am. So you're angry with me after all. You're so simple. You were just pretending like you weren't so angry. Anyways, what would you like for dinner, Mrs. Craigson? Or do I have no right to know about that either? Someone else will prepare my dinner, thank you. I know better than to eat anything you've prepared. How about you just focus on planning your wedding and leave me alone? Wow, you are quick to move on. I thought you'd be begging Kyle to stay with you. Since I have your approval to be with your husband, I'll be sleeping in Kyle's bed tonight as well. Whatever, I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want. All right, thank you for your approval, Mrs. Craigson. Now, would you excuse me? I have to go back to my duties, if you know what I mean. Thank you for signing the divorce papers. I appreciate that you're taking this well. You're making it easier for us. I just wanted to let you know that Kyle and I handed them in already. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad to know it's all over, finally. Now I don't have to see either of you anymore. I'm so excited to start this new part of my life. Me too. I'm so glad I won't have to listen to you anymore. You were so annoying. You're always nitpicking and complaining about how I don't do my job well. Now I don't have to listen to any of that crap anymore. This is so freeing. Why are you still talking to me? I thought it was over between us. You really don't have to talk to me anymore. You can talk to my lawyer if you need to know anything. I don't want to talk to you for much longer either. Thank you very much for signing the papers and getting divorced smoothly. Now we can get married soon. Yay! We finally get to be a husband and a wife. Well, good for you. Congratulations. Thank you. I'll take it anyways, even if you don't mean it. Take it however you want to. Just stop talking to me. From now on, my lawyer will be talking to you two instead of me. We still have some things to sort out, like the money and the rest of the assets. Oh, right. I guess Kyle is going to have to pay you some alimony, huh? But he said it wasn't much to pay, so it won't affect us or our wedding at all. But I guess it'll be a lot for you. Isn't that right? You won't be able to live a luxurious life like you used to, but I guess you need that money to survive. Enjoy being poor. I think you're misunderstanding something. I'm going to be just fine. If anyone is going to be strapped for cash, it'll be you. Yeah, right. Do you even realize who you're talking to? You know who I'm going to be from now on. I'm going to be Kyle's wife. Do you know what that means? That means I won't have to work again for the rest of my life, and I can finally start living large like I always wished. So you're misunderstanding this after all. This is a bit pathetic. I guess he never told you about the important stuff. Tell me about what? What important stuff? Kyle doesn't hide anything from me. What are you talking about? I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. I'm sure you'll find out for yourself eventually. Anyways, I wish you good luck. Don't go saying that I didn't warn you. I told you it's not a good plan to marry that man. What? Please, tell me. Is Kyle really hiding something from me? Hey, tell me right now. Don't go without telling me first. Mrs. Craigson, please rehire Kyle. Or else we'll have to leave the house and sell it. We don't want to do that. I'm not Mrs. Craigson anymore. You can call me Ms. Smith. But I'd prefer you just didn't talk to me at all, though, as I've mentioned several times in the past. Anyway, I warned you ages ago what was going to happen, so don't come complaining to me. I guess he didn't tell you because he was acting all tough and capable of handling everything. You should have realized sooner that a man who gets divorced by cheating on his wife is no decent man to get married to. Why would I let him stay in the company that has been in my family for generations after he cheated on me and we got divorced? I didn't know that it was your company. I thought it was Kyle's. He never told me that he was working for you. I thought you didn't have a job. To tell you the truth, it's my grandpa's company. But soon he'll be retiring and passing it on to my dad. He'll be the next CEO in a few years. The original plan was that my dad would pass it on to Kyle sometime in the future after he retired. If that's the case, then you should bring him back to the company. What will happen to the company without him? I'm sure it'll be at a disadvantage. Don't you feel sorry for your ex-husband? Did you ever actually love and care for him at all? Who do you think you're talking to? The jilted wife who was lashing out and ruining a man's professional life out of jealousy. You worked in our house for years. You saw how well I treated him. I felt like a maid myself, trying to make the man happy. I don't know how you could say something like that with a straight face. I don't want to hear any more mention about maids. You were never a maid. You were just a whiny handful. And I'm not a maid anymore. I'm the new Mrs. Craigson. I can say whatever I want now. You no longer get to control me. Didn't I tell you that the company is owned by my family? So what? What does that have to do with anything? You don't own the company. Your grandpa does. Plus, I never saw you go to work or anything. I doubt you contribute to the company at all. You think you have power to do anything you want in the company just because your grandpa is the CEO. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a member of the board of directors. Just because the laziest maid we ever hired never saw me working doesn't mean that I don't do anything. I separate my work life and private life. But every morning I leave early to go to work. Where did you think I went every morning? Really? You actually were working all those years? I thought you were just going out shopping or meeting with friends. Who goes shopping at 7 in the morning? You're almost impressively oblivious. Every maid in the house knew about it except for you. I guess you were too busy trying to ensnare my husband to notice anything else. That's because Kyle made it sound like you didn't work. He also said you eat up all his money even though you do nothing at all. I believed him because I never saw you do much at home. You just watch TV and talk to your friends on the phone. That's all a lie. It's actually the other way around. He was the one who didn't do anything, even though he would say he was working. He was actually going out sleeping around with other women instead of actually working. What do you mean, other women? He's been only with me these past few years. I thought he was being suspicious, so I got a detective to follow him and report what he was doing. No way. You mean he was sleeping with women other than me? Why don't you go and ask him about that? I can't believe you never found anything suspicious about him. You're so oblivious. Anyways, the company is much better off with him gone. We've cut down on expenses by having one less useless worker to pay for. There's no way you're taking him back. You two will both have to look for new jobs, I guess. You mean he's been deceiving me this whole time? I thought I was finally going to start living large and not worry about money anymore. Living large? You're funny. You really think you're going to live large after this? Since you two will have to leave the house soon, you'll go back to your old life. Actually, I doubt you'll find another job that paid you as well as I did. What do you mean we're leaving the house? Are you kicking us out? Well, of course. It's my house. You two don't get to live there anymore. What? Nobody ever told me that. That can't be true. I guess everyone but you knew about it once again. How many things is it now that you didn't know? Do you know anything about the situation at all? That can't be true. There's no way this house is yours. It's Kyle's. No, it's mine. You can go ask him if you can't believe me. Anyways, I want you to pack everything you own and leave by the end of the month. I have my lawyer informed about that too, so he should be contacting you soon. If you have questions, please ask my lawyer, not me, all right? No, I don't want to leave. I really want to live here with Kyle. Miss Smith, please, help us out. You can't abandon us like this. You need to help us or we'll go bankrupt. So please, help us. We have to look for new jobs and we might not be able to afford the alimony. You two can figure it out. It's none of my business. Like I said, if you have anything to say, go tell it to my lawyer. He'll make sure you guys understand everything you need to about the alimony. Also, all the other maids will be staying on at the house with me. It should go without saying, though, since there's no way you guys could afford to pay their salaries. What? Then who will take care of us after that? Who knows? Nobody, I guess. I hope you haven't forgotten how to cook, although your cooking never was all that good. No, please, let me have the experience of what it's like to have luxurious life. Even just for a little while. Maybe for 1 year? That's all I ask. 1 year. So please, let us dream for 1 year, or we'll be left with nothing. I can give you a new job if you would like, though you might not like it. Really? Will you really give me a new job? I'll do anything. Yeah, you can be my maid again. In fact, both you and Kyle can work together for me. Wouldn't that be nice, since you two will get to be near each other a lot? But I'll have the other maids train you very harshly since you lack professionalism. No way. I don't want to go back to being a maid. I would never work for you again, even if I died. That's too bad. Then you'll have to go look for a job yourself. But see the mess you're in now? You didn't really plan things out very well, did you? You were so blinded with greed that you couldn't see the truth about the situation you were in. It's your fault for blindly trusting whatever he said. Maybe things would have been different if you had actually tried to be professional. That's not fair. I just didn't know. I just wanted to believe in Kyle. You can save all of your excuses. I don't want to hear any more. You can blame it all on whatever you want. But you made the decision to sleep with him and push me out, and now you're reaping the benefits of that. The two fools now have to take care of each other as best they can since they're both out of a job. They were stubborn and tried to squat in the house even after they were supposed to leave. In the end, I had to have them forcibly removed, and now they live in an old and moldy apartment in a shady neighborhood. They have to work multiple jobs to make ends meet and stay on top of the alimony that Kyle owes me. Hopefully, they both really, truly love each other, and it was all worth it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe for more videos. Hey, Sarah! How have you been doing recently? I feel like it has been ages since we last spoke. Oh, hi, Marjorie. It's pretty rare for you to message me like this. Is everything okay? Did something happen? What do you mean? Can't I text you every now and then to see how you are? I mean, you are my daughter-in-law, after all. Did something have to have happened for me to reach out to you? I guess not, but it's pretty unusual for you to do that, that's all. I guess I just didn't expect to hear from you unless there was something in particular going on. Well, there isn't anything. I just wanted to know how you were. Then in that case, I've been doing just fine. Nothing to report. That sort of thing. I mean, I guess work has been pretty busy recently, but more or less business as usual apart from that. Really? Good. No change is a good sign if you ask me, especially when it comes to work. I suppose so. At least nothing bad has happened, so I can be grateful for that. And then what about you? Are you doing well? Better than ever, actually. Really? That's good to hear. Did something happen to make things go so well? Oh, you know, a bit of this and that. Let's just leave it there, though. My husband is also out of town for business, so it feels like I have a fresh breath of freedom for a little while. But I thought you and Dan got along well with each other. Did you want him out of the house so badly? Oh, no. Nothing like that at all. But it's nice to have some time to yourself every once in a while. I see. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly check in with you before tomorrow. I'm so excited for it, you know. I hope you're as excited as I am. What are you talking about? What's happening tomorrow? Come on! Don't tell me that you forgot! Tomorrow is the big day I have been waiting for a long time now. I really don't know what you mean by that. Am I out of the loop about something? Oh, I don't imagine so. But if you're really interested, then ask Frank about it. He knows what's going on. Frank does. Can't you just tell me now? I could, but I don't think I will. Ask Frank to find out if you want to know so badly. Or you can wait and it will be a nice surprise for you. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye now. Wait, Marge? What's happening? Where will I see you? Hello? Marge? Are you still there? Frank? Are you there? Why don't you pick up your phone? I'm a little worried about you. Why aren't you home yet? It's already past 9. And you weren't responding to my texts either. Did something happen? Please respond.
Oh, hey, sorry about that. What's up? I'm at work still, so I couldn't really check my phone until now. I'm just taking a quick break, so I only saw your texts and missed calls now. Did something happen? You never text me when I am at work.
What do you mean you're still at work? At this hour? Since when do you work this late?
Oh, you know how it is. The boss asked me to stay late and finish some work that was not done yet. It wasn't even me who was supposed to finish it in the first place, but here I am. Always picking up the slack for other people who can't do what they're supposed to do. But I couldn't really say no either way.
Why not? If it's not your work, why do you have to do it? Why didn't that other person stay back late?
Come on. You know full well that doesn't matter in the office. The boss thought that since the other person didn't do it properly the first time, it would be a waste of time asking them again. And I can't just say no even if I want to.
But you never stay late. That's one thing you had always been so happy about at this job.
Yeah, but I guess once in a blue moon is better than every other week like my last place. I didn't want to fight it exactly because it almost never happens. Don't want to rock the boat too much. But anyway, what did you want to talk to me about? It must be kind of important if you were going to call me a bunch just because I didn't respond to a text.
Right, yeah. The thing is that your mom reached out to me a bit ago.
She did? That's pretty unusual for her, isn't it?
That's exactly what I thought. I thought that something must have happened for her to be doing that, and I even said that to her. But she said that she just wanted to see how I was, and then we had a more or less normal conversation.
Okay. And this is what you were so desperate to tell me about? That just sounds like a good and normal thing to me. Why was this such a big deal?
Well, it would have been all fine and good if that was how it ended. But before she stopped replying to me, she said some pretty strange and cryptic things.
Like what? Stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already. I don't see what the point of this is.
She said that she was excited for tomorrow because something was happening that she had been waiting for. She wouldn't tell me what it was about and told me to ask you because you knew what was happening. And she also said that she would be seeing me tomorrow. We didn't have any plans to see her tomorrow, did we? I swear that I would have remembered if we did. What's going on? This is starting to make me anxious.
That. I see now what's going on. I didn't think she would take the time to message you out of the blue about it, though.
That? What on earth are you talking about? Can you just explain to me what's going on? I'm completely out of the loop here and you're not helping the situation.
What do you mean you're out of the loop? I didn't tell you. My mom is going to start living with us. She's moving her stuff into the house tomorrow. That's why she will be seeing you.
What? This is a joke, right? at all. Where is this coming from? I can't believe this is happening. This better be a joke, Frank. But I'm telling you, it's not a very good one.
It's not a joke. She really is moving in with us.
How could you agree to this without even asking me about it? This is a huge change for us, and you didn't even think to mention it to me until the day before? And you wouldn't have even told me unless I asked you. I would have just woken up or come home to see her being in our house.
There's absolutely no way that I didn't mention it to you. I'm sure that I told you about this happening. I don't remember when, but I must have.
I'm telling you that you didn't. Do you really think that I would have forgotten about something this huge?
I guess not. You're right. I thought that I had mentioned it, so I didn't bring it up again. I'm sorry. I should have been a bit more thorough.
You're damn right you should have been more thorough. How did this slip your mind? We're not talking about forgetting to buy something at the supermarket here.
I know. But all the same, I think it's too late to change anything now. Her bags are all packed and ready to go for tomorrow. Nothing changes now. Sorry about that. I know it must be a little bit of a shock, but thanks for understanding.
A little bit of a shock? Do you think you can just chalk this up to being a little shock? And who said anything about being understanding? This can't happen, Frank. It just can't. You need to do something about this right now, before it's too late. God, you always do this to me. You make huge life-changing decisions without asking me or talking to me about them. We're married. We're supposed to do this together. Don't you realize that?
Of course I realize that, but I can't always remember to tell you everything. And I thought that I did. It's not like I was hiding it. And you know that I can't tell my mom no. She wanted to move in, and now she's moving in. I can't stop her from doing so now. It's kind of a done deal now.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Why does your mom get to have the final say in things like this? This isn't something that the two of you get to decide yourselves. Not when it's something that affects me this much as well.
I told you that I didn't mean to make the decision without you. I thought you knew already. I don't know what else I can say now.
I'm sure that your mom also knew that I was clueless about it. That's why she was acting the way she was. Otherwise, she would have just came out and told me what she was excited about, or she would have mentioned it earlier. She's not the kind of person to stay quiet about things. And now you're doing the same thing to me too. You know that you're in the wrong and are trying to get out of it by just saying you forgot about it. No one will forget to tell their partner about something this big. No one. It doesn't matter how bad a memory you might have. I live in this house too, you know. I should be involved in decisions like this. I'm completely speechless at you. I just can't believe this at all. You're my husband and you betrayed me. We are supposed to be a team. We're supposed to make decisions about our lives together.
Come on, you're being too dramatic now. I betrayed you? I'm trying to get out of this by pretending to have forgotten? That's ridiculous. I get it, you're upset that you didn't know. Fine, that's normal. But it's going to be fine. It's not a big deal like you're making it out to be. We'll live together, and the only thing that will change for you is that she will be there too. And you know how stubborn my mom is. It's her way or nothing at all. I couldn't change her mind about it now anyway, even if I wanted to, and tried as hard as I could. There's no point thinking about what could have been or what went wrong now. She's moving in, at least for the time being, and then we can see what happens later on, okay?
No! It's not okay! You're right about one thing, though. I do know what kind of person your mom is. All too well. And that's the problem here. Calling her stubborn is being very nice about it. She's selfish and self-centered. She only thinks about herself.
Hey, that's my mom that you're talking about. I know that you haven't gotten along that well in the past, but maybe this will change things between you. And she's not that bad. You're being dramatic again.
What do you mean she's not that bad? She is that bad. She's barging her way into our home without me knowing about it until the last day. That's the very definition of being selfish. She has absolutely no shame when it comes to getting her way. Do you even think about how much of a strain this will be on me? On us? Our whole relationship.
Look, what do you want me to say? What's done is done, and you getting angry and blowing up my phone with all of these texts isn't going to help or change anything. Just put the phone down and forget about this, at least for the time being.
I can't just forget about this. How am I supposed to do that? I know that she has wanted to move in with us for whatever reason, but we've talked about it to her, and I thought we had made it clear enough that it wasn't going to happen. We had a system. She can call us whenever, and we can go over and check on her or help her with whatever she needs. And she agrees to let us live our life and live separately. And even that arrangement still worked out in her favor.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, getting angry now isn't going to solve any problems. You're emotional right now, but you will calm down in a bit and realize that you're reacting too strongly.
And how exactly am I supposed to calm down? Everything is being turned upside down and I didn't even see it coming. Think about how she has been ever since you gave her a spare key to our house. It's been a nightmare. It was supposed to be for emergencies only, but she just comes in when we're not home and whenever else she feels like it. And if we didn't have cameras set up, we wouldn't even know half the time. And she throws out my stuff. You saw her do it as well. And then there was the incident like a month or so ago, remember?
No. What incident are you talking about?
The one where I had some friends over for a few glasses of wine.
Ah, that incident. Right, I remember now.
Well, I'm glad that you're at least able to remember some things. Marsh just walked into the room and yelled at them and basically sent them packing. Even if I had gotten them to stay, why would they want to? The atmosphere would have been too awkward. They don't want to come over anymore, and I don't blame them a single bit either. I wouldn't want to either if it wasn't my house. Just because she had a spare key, she was already acting like she owned the place.
Yeah, you're right. That was a pretty bad one. But that was just once, to be fair.
Just once? That's one too many times to begin with! Now just imagine to yourself what she might be like when she actually lives here. It makes me shake just thinking about it. She's going to be unbearable, and you're here trying to tell me that I am overreacting. She already doesn't respect any boundaries or our house at all. She's going to be even worse because she will think of the house as her own and do whatever she wants. Why didn't you shoot this idea down as soon as she brought it up? You need to grow up already and stand up to her. You're not a kid, Frank. You can't let your mom control your life forever.
I know I'm not a kid, but I didn't see the point in standing up to her either.
You always say that, and I am so sick of it. Why not? How did you not see the point? What about to keep me happy? What about to preserve our life a little bit? Do you not see any point to that?
Of course I do. That's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean exactly? Huh?
I just didn't see the point in making a big deal or getting into a fight over something that I didn't think would be that big of a problem. That's all.
Well, it is a problem. And a big one. You always let her make decisions for you. And it's only with her that you're like this too. If I try to get you to do something, you just ignore me. You're pretty good at ignoring what I want, or getting into a fight with me over some pretty small things. But not with her. No. If Mommy asks you to do something, it gets done. No questions asked. She's never heard a no from you in her entire life. It's no wonder she thinks that she can do whatever she wants when it comes to you.
I guess you're right about that. I've never been able to say no to her. That much is true, at least.
You don't need to tell me that. And so, what about your dad? Did he agree to this as well?
To be honest, I don't even know if I talked to him about it or not. I mean, I must have, right? I don't remember, though.
You don't remember? Well then, I guess it's fair to say that he has never heard a word about it from anyone. You all must have told me, but you didn't.
Okay, I get it already. But my mom has said this before to us, you know that? She wanted to move in and live with us and was going to do that even if Dad didn't want to. She's always felt very strongly about this, and I am sure that she at least spoke to Dad about it, even if I didn't.
And do you think that he's just okay with it then? Although I can't blame him, I guess. Knowing what your mom is like, I would want her out of the house by any means possible.
Don't be so mean. They've been together a long time. They get along well. I'm sure that my dad knows about it and decided it was okay.
Are you sure about that? Did you even know that he is out of town for work right now? I wonder if he knows anything. He might just come home to an empty house and have no clue about what that means.
I didn't know about that. But whether he is here or not doesn't really change anything for us. He's not the one moving in.
How can you be so passive about this? Sure, we have talked about this with your mom before, but I was always so against it. It was the one thing in this world that I didn't want to happen. Did you forget that? And now you're just letting her waltz into our home like this?
What do you expect me to do then? She's already packed and everything seemed to be decided. It's too late to change things now. She's moving in and that's all there is to it.
You really are pathetic when you're like this. There's obviously no point trying to get this through that thick skull of yours anymore. Anyway, I have work tomorrow. You better not expect me to help her unpack anything. I refuse.
You don't need to do anything at all. I got a day off of work tomorrow so that I could help her with the move. And it's not like she is bringing furniture or anything, so just me and her will be fine with it.
Oh, so you're prepared when it comes to this, then? How many days in advance did you have to tell your work about this, then? Even they knew about this before I did. Okay, fine. There's nothing I can do, it seems. We'll give her a trial run. She can stay with us for a while, but she better be on her best behavior. If she starts acting like she owns the place, that's it. We're going to kick her out.
We don't need to do that, do we? I mean, I can't just kick my own mother out onto the street. What kind of son would that make me?
You wouldn't be kicking her out onto the street. She has a perfectly good house that she is living in right now. She should use it instead of invading our space.
Okay, listen. If something happens, or she does something that you don't like, come and tell me. I will be the mediator and we can sort it out in a diplomatic way. No yelling, no fighting. We can sit down and talk like adults.
Is this another stupid joke of yours or what? You? The mediator? When have you ever done something like that? You can't even say no to her and you're supposed to help us sort out our issues? I already know what side you will be on every time. Remember that we're in this situation right now because you couldn't even talk to me openly. And now you expect me to trust you to mediate. You'll tell her that she is right or tell me that I should just let it go because it's not worth the trouble. I can see it clear as day already. Just like I can clearly see that you're lying to me right now. I know that you're not at work. You're probably holed up in some bar right now with a friend or two sinking beers.
What? What makes you think that?
You never work late. And then you told me that you're on a quick break. But you still have time to message me now. That's a pretty long break if you ask me. No, I know what happened. You realized that if you came home and I had found out about this, you would have to face me in person. And you couldn't even be man enough to put up with it, so you lie to me even further and hide away in a bar. It's easier to deal with me via text, isn't it? Not being able to actually see how angry I am.
I can see pretty well how angry you are through your messages. But you're right. I am at a bar with some friends. I thought it would be better to hold off from coming home until you had processed the news and calmed down a bit.
See? I knew it! I knew that you were a coward! You're unbelievable. First you don't tell me what's happening, and then you lie to me to try and get out of an unpleasant situation. You could have just told me that you were out and would be back later on. Or are you just avoiding me in general? You don't want to be around me anymore? Is that it?
Don't say that. It's nothing like that at all. You know that's not the case. Let's just do what you said before and give her a bit of a trial run. But let's try and get along and make this work. We give her a few months, and I am sure that you might even get along with her better than you thought you could. Right? What do you say? Hello? Are you there? Sarah?
What's going on? Why is all my stuff outside?
What do you think? That should be obvious enough to you. This is all your fault. You just couldn't play nice with my mom, could you? After all the trouble she went through to move in with us. She has been nothing but nice to you, but you still had to take that crappy attitude with her. You didn't even try to make things work.
Here it is! I could have predicted this. She forces her way into our house and then proceeds to drive a wedge between the two of us. Didn't I tell you that this would ruin things between us? And instead of taking my side, or even being the mediator like you said you would, you're just throwing me by the wayside. You changed so much as soon as she moved in.
What is that supposed to mean? How did I change?
You did a complete 180 and became a different person since she came to live with us. All of a sudden, you're the assertive husband? Where is that coming from? Are you trying to impress your mom or something? Who the hell do you think you are? You were never like that before at all. This was her idea now as well, wasn't it? Did she make you kick me out? Seriously, why have you been acting like this?
You can think whatever you want. It doesn't change anything. With my mom living here, I need to act like the man of the house. But none of that matters. What matters is your attitude, and your attitude is the problem. I am fed up with how selfish you've been acting. You never do anything around the house anymore either.
I work, you know. I don't always have time to be slaving away at the housework.
Just because you have a job doesn't mean that you don't have your responsibilities around the house. I never should have let you keep your job after we got married. That was my mistake. But I thought you would be responsible enough to do everything you were required to do.
I can't believe what you're saying right now. Are you delusional? You let me continue working? Don't make me laugh. Do you really think you could have made me quit my job and be a stay-at-home wife despite what I wanted? Who even are you anymore? I don't even recognize who you have become. All this just to impress your mom. Well, I'm sure Mommy is very impressed with how tough her little boy is.
What did you say? Don't talk to me like that.
Or maybe this is the kind of person who you have really been all along? Have you just been suppressing it until now? You want to act all tough and domineering in front of your mom. But the truth is, you're just a complete pushover. Always have been. But if this really is what you are like deep down inside, then I guess I made a mistake choosing to get married to you all those years ago.
Huh? Are you kidding? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Now you made the mistake of marrying me? Don't you think you are being a little too harsh towards me? Those aren't the kinds of words you can just take back.
You really think that I'm being harsh? Well, all of my stuff is outside on the curb? It's you two who are completely in the wrong. I've done nothing but try to be a supportive and loving wife to you, and this is what I get in return. But whatever. None of that matters to me anymore. You seem to have made a decision for me, and for once in my life, I am grateful for it. You made a good one. And thanks for packing my bags for me, too. It saves me a lot of work. I'll get out of your hair for good now, and you and your mother can live happily ever after together. My parents already said I can stay with them whenever I might need to. I will be taking them up on that offer.
You go ahead and do just that then. It's not like you have ever listened to anything I have to say anyway. But you better be prepared to pay up if you go through with this. Know that much at least.
Are you nuts? Pay up? What for?
I want like 120 grand from you. And there will be none of this installment crap either. It's lump sum only. I'll give that money to my mother to use. Then at least you will have had some purpose. Or if you can't pay that much, then you had just better give up and admit that you're wrong. Humble yourself and realize how you've been treating the two of us. Apologize and then I might still find it in my heart to let you come back inside.
Is that really how you see things playing out? Why would I beg to live in that house again with you and your mother? If anything, you have done me a huge favor with this. Also, it doesn't seem like you even understand how the courts work in the first place. You think you can just pick a random figure like 120,000 and then I will have to pay it to you?
You think I'm an idiot, don't you? You're always looking down on me. Obviously, the person who caused the relationship to collapse should be responsible to pay the other person. That's just common sense. You're the one moving out and in with your parents, so you're the one at fault here. And it looks like the question of divorce is pretty much settled. I don't think you would even try to make things work. Not with the attitude you have been showing recently. But maybe this is all for the best in the end. You've caused my mom so much stress over the past month. I feel so bad for her. But if we're getting a divorce, you're the one who will be paying up.
Is that so? I don't think that's how a judge will see it, but you're welcome to try and get that money out of me. It won't be easy, though, seeing as you're the one who has kicked me out of the house after not even telling me that your mom was going to live here. But at least we're on the same page about the divorce. This isn't working, and I'm glad I don't have to listen to you groveling.
Huh! As if I would ever grovel to stay with you. You must be actually insane. You better make sure your finances are in order, though. I'll be coming for every last penny that I can squeeze out of you. I didn't think you would be stupid to actually go through with a divorce. You're going to be in complete financial ruin after all this is done. But that's got nothing to do with me. You can sort those problems out on your own after. Here's what I will do, though, since I am so kind. I will help you move your things to your parents' house so that you don't have to pay someone for it. It's not like you'll have much money left for long. That's at least one payment that you won't have to worry about. It was such a relief, you know, getting rid of all that junk and just throwing it into boxes. You collected so much crap that was useless and just got in the way. I felt like I was living in the middle of a yard sale.
You never even mentioned that before in all the years we lived together. If it was such a big deal, then why not say something? Unlike you, I would have taken that into consideration and done something about it. Well, whatever. None of that really matters anymore. I guess this is it until whenever our court date might be.
Wait a second. What? What do you mean our court date? Why would we take this to trial? Are you just going to admit that this is your fault and pay me?
Why the hell would I do that? You think I'm just going to hand over that kind of money to you? If you took a step back and actually looked at the situation, you might even realize just how in the wrong you really are. No one would take your side over this. There's no way you would be able to get this money out of me.
We can discuss this without a trial, though, can't we? Just settle it between us. I don't understand what you think you could possibly gain from a court case. All that would happen is that you will have to pay more money for all of the court and lawyer fees. That's it.
You know that's not what's going to happen, and now you want to backpedal? There's no chance you are getting that kind of money from me. Get used to that idea.
Why wouldn't I? You have caused me and Mother so much harm.
You keep telling yourself that. You might believe that, but no one else would. Get ready to lose if we end up in court, though.
What kind of nonsense are you spouting? No judge would ever think you deserve anything.
We can tally up various things. Like how your mom has a nasty habit of throwing out my things without asking. Sometimes she doesn't bother even hiding it and just breaks them right in front of me. I have plenty of proof of that as well. Don't you think a judge would order you to compensate me for property damage? I'm the victim here, not you. And I know that they will think that as well.
Hold up a second now. Those things aren't part of the conversation. You can't bring them up. And also, are you actually wanting to get a divorce? Are you actually being serious about all of that?
Of course I do. You were the one who brought it up first, too. Isn't that what we've been talking about this whole time? You had your mom move in with us without asking for over a month now. The only reason you are hesitating now is you are starting to realize your case isn't as sound as you thought it was. Despite my best efforts to get along with her, it's been miserable. I've endured it and tried my best to get along with her, but she isn't reciprocating at all. And you say the person with the bad attitude is me? You both treat me like absolute garbage. Why would I want to continue living like that? I want out as soon as possible. The only time you treat me like a human being is when you want me to do something. At least your mother taught you how to ask nicely for something.
Let's just take a step back here, okay? We might just be rushing into some things because emotions are high. I think we can discuss this and talk about it. We don't need to make any mistakes that we can't take back later.
This wouldn't be a mistake. This will be the best thing I can do for myself right now. I was a bit frustrated and shocked when I saw all my things outside the house. I didn't know what I did to deserve it, or what to do next. But now I have had some time to think, and after giving it a little bit of thought, it makes sense. Why would I stay married to someone who doesn't treat me with respect? Separation is definitely best for me.
So, you're not going to pay me any money then?
That's all you have to say, is it? Not, I'm sorry you've been feeling that way, or I don't want to get a divorce? You just want money for your mom. I guess I shouldn't be all too surprised by this. This is who you are, after all.
That isn't the case. You know that. You know me.
I thought that I knew you, but I obviously didn't know you very well at all. And if you're going to demand money even now, then we definitely need to go through court. It'll be quite the mess, and it might take more time, but I think it's necessary. You should probably reach out to an attorney. The earlier we get this going, the better.
Would you stop with all this trial talk? I told you it's all just a waste of money. You can't possibly convince anyone that you were the victim here. Just stay there. I'll come back home right away. We can talk about this. Give me a chance to fix it.
You're not even home right now? Let me guess. You're out drinking with some friends again in the middle of the work week?
Well, I'm not at a bar, but I am at a casino with some friends.
Great! Much better than the bar. It doesn't make a difference where you are, though. I can't believe I was stupid enough to marry a man like you. I don't know what you're thinking or what your mom has been telling you to do, but you should stop listening to her. It won't end well for you. That's the last advice I will ever give you. As for my stuff, my brother is already on his way. He's going to help me get everything moved over to my parents' house. It should be off the curb in no time. You and your mother can get back to playing house together as soon as possible. If you want to see me, go ahead and come back, I guess. If you hurry, you just might catch me.
Are you joking? You already called him? Why would you do that? We haven't had a chance to properly talk about anything yet.
Of course I did. Did you think that I was just going to stand around outside looking at my stuff all sad? And there's nothing else to talk about. Everything has been said already. I want to get this divorce started as soon as possible. Ah! Here he is now. A bit faster than I expected, but that's good. I guess you were too slow. Well, I'll get my stuff out of your hair. Thanks for everything? No, that doesn't sound right. Goodbye.
Would you chill out with all of that? Just wait there for a minute. I'm on my way back. I will be like 15 minutes or so. I'm going to reach out to my mom. Just wait there for a minute. She can talk to you. Please? I'm begging you here. Don't leave yet.
Frank seems to have settled down a bit. Finally. He was really quite flustered yesterday. I can't imagine why he would be like that, though. There's no need for him to get so worked up over you. Don't worry, though. I spoke to him and convinced him that this is for the best. He's completely over you now. He doesn't have any feelings towards you anymore. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it. Good for him. Bye now. Enjoy your life.
What do you mean, bye? You really are a revolting woman. This is why I never liked you. I told Frank he should have never gotten involved with you in the first place. If only he had listened to my advice back then, this would have never happened. A woman like you should have never gotten involved with someone as great as he is. It's inconceivable. He should have no problem finding a much better woman. One who is much prettier than you. And much more agreeable. He could have been with someone like that already, but no! You had to get your claws into him and take him for yourself.
Ah, I see. This all makes sense to me now. I overheard you one night talking to him about how you were wanting to introduce him to some women who were more suitable for him than I am. I guess with us divorced, that makes it so much easier for you. Well, now you can do that just as you wanted. Isn't it nice that your son can never say anything against you or say no to you no matter what? You've had your way now. Good job destroying our marriage. You finally can have your son all to yourself. Thanks again for getting me out of this marriage. Goodbye.
Who do you think you are? Don't you dare talk to me in that way. This kind of attitude is exactly what I have been talking about. This isn't how you should behave towards me. You just keep trying to get out of this conversation, but I'm not done talking to you. But fine. Go then if you want. I guess there's no point arguing with you at this point. I got what I wanted, and you have nothing. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
That's where you're wrong. I also got everything that I wanted. Everything that I needed, too. Although I didn't realize it before.
Well, good luck then, and keep telling yourself that if it makes you feel better. You'll need all the luck you can get, though. No one is going to want a pretentious woman like you. You'll never find another man as good as Frank for as long as you live. How dare you ignore my texts? I am your mother-in-law. You're free right now, aren't you? I just know that someone like you doesn't have anything going on in your life. Anyway, when you see this, get back to the house. We can discuss this all in person together. I think that would be best. And by the way, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. That's an order. Got it.
What?
Is this Marjorie?
How are you even messaging me right now? I was sure I blocked your number. I shouldn't be getting anything from you. But that aside, why would I come back? It's been like half a year since you kicked me out. There's nothing for me at that house.
I knew you blocked me! How dare you! I had to get a new phone so that I could text you from this number. So many messages, and you didn't respond to any of them. Come make up with Frank. You two need to get back together.
What the hell is going on right now?
You're insane, you know that, right? Say what you want, but this is best for you as well. A woman like you will never find better than him. You're getting a second chance with him, and you shouldn't let this chance go by. Why not come tomorrow, then? Apologize to him, and you two can get remarried. You've made things really difficult for all of us these past 6 months.
What, do you expect me to come over and do housework for you or something? Can't manage a house on your own. I hate to break it to you, but I am currently not seeking a position as a maid. If you are having trouble, perhaps you should reach out to a housekeeping service. There's tons of them. Is that what this is about? You can handle a single task on your own. Now you need me to come and fix things up for you. You never did have the knack for any housework after all.
You're so rude. Do you enjoy insulting your husband's mother? I'm trying to do something good for you, and this is the kind of thing I hear back from you.
You mean my ex-husband? Frank and I are divorced. We're not married. You're not my mother-in-law. I have moved on, and you both need to as well. And do you enjoy insulting me? You seemed to enjoy it quite a bit the last time we spoke.
You're my son's wife. That's how this relationship works. I tell you what to do, and you do it. If you had understood that before, then it wouldn't have had to get this far in the first place. Really, you disrespect your own family and then wonder why people want you gone.
You wanted me gone, and you got what you wanted. Don't try and get me to come back now. And you're still making the same mistake. Is your memory as bad as Frank's? I just told you. I'm not your son's wife. I was his wife. I realize you are getting older, but please do your best to remember. There's a big difference between the words is and was.
Stop getting fixated on the details. The small stuff like that doesn't matter.
I wouldn't call that a detail. It's kind of the main thing, actually. You're lucky, though. You know that? You never had to deal with a mother-in-law like you were to me.
Shut up! This isn't about me and you anymore. This is about you and Frank. You need to make up with him and move back in. And then you can start on the cleaning right away. This place is a complete mess. You get here and set things straight, and I will allow you to get back together with my son. Aren't you the luckiest? Others wouldn't be as forgiving as I am being.
Wow. You must think quite highly of yourself. Do you think that living with the two of you is such a privilege? There's no chance in hell I'd do that. No amount of money would ever convince me to relive that experience again. Bye now.
Don't you dare bye now me! I'm telling you to do something, so do it! Hey! Don't ignore me again! Hey, Sarah. It's been a while, hasn't it? How have you been doing all this time? Sorry to reach out to you out of the blue like this. I know you probably didn't expect to hear from me like this.
What the hell? First it's your mother and now it's you? I blocked both you and your mother. Why are your messages getting through? Did you guys get new numbers or something? How did you get around the block? You must be quite desperate. Can't you and your mother just leave me alone already? If you have the free time to be getting new phone numbers to harass me, don't you have free time to do your own housework?
Please don't be like that. Can we keep this civil for a little bit? There's no need to get angry just from a little text. I'm reaching out to you for a reason as well. It's not just random. There's something I have been wanting to ask you.
Oh boy. What now? What do you want from me? Is this important? It better be. I have lots of better things to be spending my time on instead of listening to your crap.
It is important. I wouldn't message you if it wasn't. I wanted to ask you if you think there is any chance of us getting back together. You know, giving another crack at this whole marriage thing.
That's what you wanted to ask me? That was your important question?
Yes, it was. So, what do you say? Will you take me back?
Absolutely not! There is no chance in hell that I would do that.
An immediate rejection, huh? I figured as much. Sorry for bothering you. I would have liked you to at least consider it for a moment, though. You know, about what happened. My mom had been talking to me about some women she knew who wanted to find a new man. She said that they might be a better fit for me than you were. I don't know what was going on in my head, but it sounded like a good thing. So I went along with her plan.
Huh? What plan? I don't really understand why you're telling me this now, though. This is all in the past now.
I know it is, and I'm sure you don't want to hear this, but I feel like I need to get it off my chest. Her plan was to drive you away in order for me to have a chance with this other woman who she wanted to get me together with. She made her sound so appealing, and I caved at the idea. I would never cheat on you or anything like that, which is why we kind of made your life difficult to encourage you to leave me and get a divorce. We also thought that we might have been able to get some money from you during the divorce process, too. But that's something else. Don't worry, though. I would have never met up with this woman if we weren't divorced already. I would have never done anything like that. But honestly, things didn't turn out too well between the two of us when we met. The whole time we were together felt really forced. There was no chemistry between us at all, and we didn't vibe like I thought we would have. I thought maybe there was just a clash in our personalities or something. And that was part of it, but it turns out that my mom was behind the scenes being really pushy as well. And then on top of that, my dad was furious when he found out about all of this. Turns out he had no idea. He freaked out on her and told her that it was all her fault that our marriage had fallen apart, and that she needed to do something about it. But of course, my mom wasn't having any of that, and she didn't listen to him. Instead, she decided to turn her back on my dad, and they ended up getting a divorce not long after. To be honest, I realized no one would marry me in this state. I'm a single older man living with my mother. I'm begging you. Even if my mom lives with us, I know we can make it work as a husband and wife again. Can we give it another shot? We did get along together for years before all of this happened, didn't we? I just know that we can go back to that again. You're the only one I can count on to get me out of this situation. You're the only one who can put up with my mom. Please, will you at least consider patching things up with me? Please, I need you. I really do. Hello? Are you there?
You done? Is that all you have to say? You were going on and on for so long, I put my phone down and let you go for it.
Oh, you didn't read what I just sent you?
I didn't know. I'm not going to read all of that. But don't worry, someone did. My brother got a real kick out of you monologuing about how terrible your life is. I mean, who wouldn't lose it laughing at something that pathetic?
So does that mean that you don't want to get back together?
That was never going to happen. I hope you don't mind. I showed these messages to everyone. You had great timing messaging me when you did, actually. All my cousins are over too, and they loved it. It made this place quite lively. It wouldn't have been as fun if there weren't other people around to see it. That was quite the embarrassing display. Are you 15 or something? You need me? Grow up.
Wait, what? You showed everyone what I sent? Those were private texts. Why would you do that? Are you trying to humiliate me? I'm at rock bottom here already. You don't need to kick me while I'm already down.
It's none of your business what people are doing here. Everyone just happens to be here. That's all you need to know. So I figured it was a good opportunity to show them your text messages. Is there a problem with that? Besides, if I patched things up with you, I'd have to live with your mother again? Why would I ever agree to something like that?
But it's not that bad.
All I'm hearing is you tried your best to find another woman and failed. No one wants a mama's boy. No one could tolerate living with your mother. What kind of response were you expecting? Did you actually think that would work? Who wouldn't be turned off by someone who lives with their mother still?
That's really not the case. I mean, what's so bad about looking after your mother? Even if you're an adult, it's still something that is important to do.
You do much more than just look after her. And your mother is truly miserable to be around. Don't act like she is just a sweet lady who needs help sometimes. Besides, I can only imagine all the terrible things you said about me to those other women. I'm sure you blamed everything that went wrong in our relationship on me.
I might have said something along those lines. I didn't mean it, though. I was just trying to win their affection.
Had you approached it differently, you might have gotten better results. Blaming your ex-wife kind of backfired on you, though, huh? I'm sure everyone ran as soon as they saw how weird your relationship is with your mom.
That might be the case. Some of the women might have complained about her being overbearing at times.
How many people need to tell you what she is like before you finally get it through your head? And now, since you've run out of other options, you've come crawling back to me?
I mean, I guess you could put it that way. But that makes it sound worse than it is. I don't view you as my only final option or anything. I just finally realized how wrong I was back then and want to make things right. I want to bring things back to how they were before all of this mess. I refuse to let my mom dictate my life. She's already cost me a wife, not to mention all the other potential wives.
You say that now, but how have you been acting all this time? She has done nothing but dominate you and choose how your life works out for you. You always put her first and don't think about anything else.
I'll prioritize you over her from now on. I promise. Within reason, of course. She is still my mom. So, would you at least think about getting back together? What do you say?
It doesn't matter how many times you ask me. It doesn't matter how much you might beg. I have no intention of getting back with you. And that will never, ever change.
Really? But why? Why are you being like this?
Do you really need to ask me that question? After what you did? You kicked me out just at the thought of maybe finding someone else. And then you tried to get money from me. Now that you come crawling back, you expect me to forget about all of that? You aren't exactly a catch, especially considering your mother lives with you. A weak person like yourself will never stand up to your mother. You will never prioritize another woman over her.
You aren't like other women. We had something special. I know if we tried our hardest, we could find a way to make it work with my mom. She will be more cooperative this time, I promise.
So what you're asking me to do is just endure mistreatment from your mom for the rest of my life? What a joke! You're a grown man and you still can't break free from your mother. Even in this desperate attempt to get me to come back to you, she was the one who reached out to me first. You're too much of a coward to do even that yourself. You can only follow her lead. The two of you are obviously a package deal now. Do you have any idea what you two put me through? The physical and mental stress was unbearable. I hated being at home. I couldn't even eat. The stress absolutely destroyed my appetite. I lost 10 pounds in the 2 months that your mother was living with us. That wasn't healthy. And what happened to me telling you when something was wrong? Weren't you supposed to be the mediator? I did come to you to tell you when she was stepping across boundaries, and do you remember what you said to me? You just told me to endure it, to tough it out. I knew that you would always take her side, and all you did was prove me right time and time again. And now you're asking me to consider if I want to go through that again? You're out of your mind. Do you really think that the two of you can just do whatever you want to people and then apologize later and that will just make it all okay? That's not how life works, Frank. You're old enough to know that.
No, I don't think that at all. You're wrong about that. And it wasn't even my fault. My mom said we should do all those things, so I did them for her. I just went along with what she told me to do. It sounded like a good idea the way she put it.
Regardless whether she asked you to do that or not, you still chose to go along with her and do it anyway. You were the one who intentionally put your own wife through that miserable experience. Do you realize what kind of scumbag you have to be to do that to your own wife?
It's really not that big of a deal. Besides, I won't act like that anymore. I've learned from my past experiences. I realized what I did was wrong. So just come home already. This is where you belong. Let's give this another shot. I'll say anything I have to. I'll do anything. What do you want from me? Please tell me.
Let me think. Well, there is one thing, actually. There is something that you might be able to give me.
Really? What is it? Tell me and I will do anything.
If you give me, let's say, $50 billion, I'll forgive you and we can get back together. Not a bad deal, right? What do you say?
Be realistic. Give me something that I can actually do.
Oh, you weren't being serious when you said that you would do anything? Then why even bother saying that?
I was being serious, but you're the one not being serious. I obviously don't have that kind of money. Nobody does.
Yeah, of course you don't. That's the whole point, you idiot. Did you really think that I would seriously entertain your offer? Did you really think that I would give you a realistic answer? Why would I do that? There's nothing on God's green earth that you could offer me to get back together with you. You changed so much after your mother moved in, and I can't ever erase the memory of the person who you have become. Living with the two of you was the worst experience I have ever lived through. Nothing you could say or do now will bring me back, and you need to get that through your head. It's over between us. We're done. I don't want anything to do with you or your mother anymore. And I would hazard a guess that no one else would either. Don't ever contact me again. This really is goodbye forever, Frank. If you keep changing numbers and harassing me, I will go to the police. Despite my warning, Frank and his mother didn't listen to me and kept harassing me with phone calls and texts over and over again. I didn't go to the police and kept blocking the phone numbers, but they kept changing theirs in order to continue to text me. I eventually changed my own number, but they still somehow got my new number and kept the phone calls coming. I still don't even know how they could have possibly gotten my new number. But at that point, I reached out to the police and filed for a no-contact order, and they were ordered to never contact me again by law. Since then, I have finally gotten a little bit of peace and quiet from them and can finally move on with my life. It was difficult to fully move on when I was getting daily reminders of my old life. While I never spoke to or saw Frank or Marjorie again, Frank's father Dan did reach out to me at one point. He had never done anything to me, and I was curious about what he had to say, so I replied to him. He just wanted to check how I was doing and apologize for his son's actions. He also gave me a quick update on what was going on with the two of them as well. Apparently, Frank became very miserable and mopey since ruining his marriage and not being able to get me back. He was unable to find anyone interested in him and resorted to borrowing money to flaunt it in front of women in the hopes of winning their affection. That, of course, only worked out in the short term, and when he was unable to keep it up, they inevitably left him. And now he is left with mountains of debt. His mother is still around, yelling about how wonderful her son is and putting an end to any chances he might have had of finding someone else as she drives them away as soon as they get even slightly close. It's funny to me how he threw away everything he had for just the slightest chance with some mystery, beautiful woman, and now is at the worst point in his life that he has ever been in. I do find myself doubting myself, though, about how I couldn't see that Frank was this kind of person throughout our whole marriage. But he never seemed to be like that to me. I guess this can be called a blessing in disguise, though, as now I am happy without him and living a calmer and more carefree life than before. After the split, I stayed with my family for a little while in order to get my affairs in order before finding a new place of my own. I'm still single and not particularly interested in getting back out there into the dating scene just yet, but maybe someday I will. For the time being, I will just enjoy my freedom, living alone and spending time with my friends. I can't say that the same is true of Frank or his mother. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more content just like this. Please leave a comment below.